Hey, what's up guys? Back with a video here today, and I just was able to squeak this one out, but just gonna give you an idea of what the new Tier 8 American Premium Light is like, the T92. My first impression of it is I would basically call it the Lycan, but without an autoloader, basically. I think it's a pretty good summary of the tank. It's got about the same gun, so it has the same alpha. It's just a single shot gun and continuously fires, which my reload on it's just a smidge under 4 seconds. I think it's like 3.9 or so, something like that. If I remember right, I played about 10 games in it this morning. I tried to get some decent games for you in it, just kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So, to be honest, I had a pretty rough go of it this morning. It's not the tank's fault. There's teams and some of the maps I was getting were not light tank friendly at all. So I had some other games where the teams just kind of collapsed, but I actually did more damage than either of these two. I had 2 games that were like 3,800 damage, something like that. But that was just because I was farming at the end and I couldn't pull it off. There's no way. It's like 1 versus 10. But yeah, this tank's, I've actually been enjoying it. I've only got 10 games in it, but so far I've been really actually pretty happy with it. I'll probably definitely be adding it to my garage when I probably get back next week. So quick shout out to just mid of this before I really get into all the stats and stuff. Again, I posted something about it to appreciate for the hitting 4,000 subs mark. I think I want to try to do another giveaway for it. I got to see what I still have codes-wise left from my last one, because I did a pretty big one last time. So don't expect something that size, but it'll be a good amount of tanks. Probably look for that next week. I should definitely look for that next week. But yeah, I appreciate that and appreciate all the support. So, back to the tank. I said it has the 76 millimeter gun on it, so it has the standard 150 alpha. Well, not standard, but for this gun it has 150 alpha with 175 millimeters. I don't know if I say it like that. 175 millimeters of pen on the APCR rounds, which is fairly standard run-of-the-mill stuff for Tier 8 lights. Some are a bit higher. There's some that are lower. Just the way it is. The heat rounds have about 210, I believe, millimeters of pen. I only carry 12 right now. That may go up, that may go down, just kind of experimenting. But that's what I kind of carry in the Lycan, and yeah, kind of just on a basis for it was my decision for picking this ammo loadout. But besides that kind of loadout, it's the same thing: big repair kit, large med kit, and cola, like I do on every single light basically. And also for equipment, the optics, rammer for this, since it's a single shotgun, and optics, the run-of-the-mill standard setup for all my scouts basically. So nothing too special there in terms of setting it up, like most tanks. One thing that made me look at it initially on this tank, it has 600 horsepower. Power to weight ratio is 35 horsepower per ton. And top speed's at 60. Kind of put me off a little bit on it initially, but I thought it'd be sluggish. But it's actually not, at least that from my playing time in it. It seems like it gets up to that speed quite regularly. Doesn't have any issues with that, and it seems quite maneuverable to a certain chance, to a degree. One thing I'm looking at though right now, as I'm looking at the engine stats on it, is that it does have a 20% chance of fire, which is pretty high, actually. That's a lot higher than I'm used to in American tanks. That's like Russian levels of catching on fire. It's similar probably to the Bulldog. probably don't want to get shot where the engine or the fuel tanks are. You're going to get lit up more than likely. So overall, fairly maneuverable. Like I said, it's not sluggish. I don't feel like I'm in the LT-432s. So that, yeah, I feel like this tank's fairly mobile. Like I said, the gun, it has the base reload of 4.3 seconds. But, like I said, I got that below 4 fairly easily. I don't know how that misses, but so aiming time is very good, 1.8 seconds. That's very good. So you can do a lot of what I like to call, you can just slow down a little bit when you're shooting the tanks or circling something, or they're not paying, like it zooms in so quickly, which is very nice. It's, I like that on my lights. Don't like having the long, and it should. I mean, it only has 150 alpha damage, which for a tier 8, that's very low. I'm not gonna lie, but it does come with a decent amount of ammo, with 60 rounds. I still feel like I chew through that pretty quick, but it is what it is. It's not like I'm running out of ammo every single game, but I definitely wouldn't waste too many shots. But I feel like so far playing with a gun, it's pretty good for the RBRT stuff. At least from my understanding, it hits most of the tanks. Sometimes though, for some reason you bounce off the armored American light tanks for some reason. But hey, it happens. So again, one thing that is kind of a negative on the gun, but that's most lights. They're not supposed to be true. They're not supposed to be sniping. It's not really a thing generally. But it's got 0.38 accuracy at 100 meters. So just kind of expect that. You're not going to be precision shooting at 500 meters or something like that. Just don't expect that. What I do like about this also, it's flexible and has 10 degrees of gun depression as well, which is very nice. I said, I'm used to playing some tanks, especially some lights that don't have that much. Mainly the Russian Russian light tanks, where they have around 5 degrees or so. Same with like the Chinese, and to a certain extent the French as well. So it's nice to have some gun depression in your lights, more just flexibility, and I always like having flexibility in my scouts. Just something you always like to have when I'm playing, basically, yeah. So, what else? So, like I said, it turns fairly well. It's all that. It has good view range for a tier 8 scout, also. Base view range of 400 meters, which is pretty good actually. So you're going to be on par. You're going to get that max view range, I'd definitely say. Yeah. Like I said, I've been enjoying it. I've only played about 11 games in it so far. But that's just because I got it on loan I put the loan in yesterday and I got it this morning. And honestly, I knew I wasn't going to be around this weekend, and I wanted to kind of get this out there. Hopefully it's not trying to be a little rushed. Hopefully, maybe take my word for a little bit with a little grain of salt. There we go. Just because I played so few games in it so far. But, yeah, just overall, really, in a short amount of time I've played it, I've enjoyed it. I just wish I could have gotten some better maps for it as well. I said, this Corellia is probably the best map I had for the tank, honestly. And it's not an awful scout map. It's a good, decent scout map actually, but it's just, I was really hoping to maybe get something like Mali or something like that to kind of show off the true potential of this tank. Like I said, not the biggest damage game this time. You can rack up the damage fairly quickly in this just because of the fast reload, and even with the low alpha. One thing I'm a little hesitant about is right now I'm only playing this doing the +1 -1 test, which the 150 alpha isn't a huge deal, but I don't know how 150 alpha damage is going to stack up against tier 10s. Personally, I don't really think that's great. Having to shoot a mouse, or on paper, you'd have to shoot a mouse 30 times, like 28, 27 times, 150 alpha, something like that. maybe 25 times, something like that. Do the math. I'm not really trying to do it quickly. But, yeah, it's respectable tank. If you're looking for an American, of all the recent T92 Lights that were released, so like this, the ELC Even 90, the LT432. Honestly, my first impression is I'm enjoying this one the most for carrying potential. So actually being able to like win games on a consistent basis. I like the ELC Even as well for the fun factor of it. But I feel like I really struggled to carry games in that tank just because of how long the reload is and how little alpha you actually have in that clip. So this thing with the constant rate of fire and good view range, good mobility, good camo as well. I forgot to mention that's good camo concealment rating as well. That I'd rather probably play this thing than those two. Definitely over the LT432. But that's just my opinion. And like I said, it's fairly limited basis right now. I will say I have noticed just in the short time I played it, it's a little lacking against other scouts. They will kind of bully you a little bit if you get into a dogfight with them. So, especially like the one we just passed in our team there, you don't want to get wrecked by HEP, by a bulldog or whatever, RU-25, something like that. Because this thing doesn't weigh anything, it has no armor. So just FYI, it has no defensive really capability. So it's another tank I would really strongly advise, do not try to ram other tanks in. The only thing you're going to get away with probably ramming is the ELC Even 90s that are around, but you can ram them in anything. So I mean, that's kind of goes without saying. Yeah. But overall, like I said, I'm enjoying this thing so far. I'll definitely be picking one up, hopefully. I just gotta wait for some money, some moolah to come in, and wait for the packages to drop a little bit in price, because right now I'm not paying the inflated price that it is right now. So, yeah. I always advise for that, just saying. But, yeah, hopefully, I can get some, I don't want to say better, these are still good games, but some more intense games, or more high quality gameplay. I don't know how to say it, but like just some, what I would consider better games. This one's probably more towards that end, but I still feel like 3200 in, sorry, Swirlers, just north of 3000 damage that this game's going to be, isn't really showcasing the tank's true potential totally. It's giving you a rough idea, but I like to try to show the max of what's capable of a tank usually. So, but like I said, I wanted to get these, or get this out, just to give you my kind of thoughts on this. And apparently we bounce off again another American light tank, but once again, but like I said, the accuracy is not great, so yeah, it's not gonna. What you can't always expect everything to work. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay at this point. This is kind of crazy what I'm doing right now. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. This is crazy what I'm doing right now. I'm just going right down the middle of their map. I know I have tanks kind of off to my left and behind me, and I have a tank right now to my right. I do see him. I'm just choosing to ignore him because I'm trying to focus on driving to a certain extent and get behind some kind of cover, because this is just kind of a cluster of clusterfuck. But yeah, just kind of a crazy scouting run at this point. Okay, I'm like, I think I can get up here out of cover the rest of the people and try to get some shots. I was hoping to take this guy out because he's always a one shot, and hopefully you get some shots into this charioteer who's been kind of putting shots into my team up on the ridge the whole game. That's why I wasn't too... I really didn't want to push up too far. You do notice I don't carry any HE rounds on this. That's not that surprising. At least it shouldn't be. Just because it only has 38 millimeters of pen, and it's only 185 damage. And like I said, you have a fairly fast rate of fire. It just you can bump it up over 14 rounds a minute easily. And with 150, like you're gonna burn through ammo fairly quick if you have targets in front of you. As you see, I mean, it can get kind of, yeah, you're gonna chew through the ammo easily. So I don't really advise it. At most, maybe one, but I don't advise on that low caliber of a gun, especially at this tier, to really carry any. But yeah, it's just overall, it's a very solid tank, very good tank for that. Like I said, I think I picked up or talked about it a little bit, but already I've noticed it's damn well good at I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's really good at the snapshotting, basically. Just because of the quick aim time, it just kind of lends itself to that. And yeah, that's it. So if you're looking for a decent tank, probably an above average light tank or just add to your collection, I guess. It's not a bad tank. I would totally understand why you would want to get it. I'm not going to say go get it right now. It's totally up to you. You're just, yeah. But just be known, if it is a good tank, you're not getting ripped off. It has been, to my knowledge, nerfed from the PC version. So yeah, it's just overall a fairly solid tank. It's not as good as something like the Holland Hound or the German Bulldog. If you're looking for your first American or German, whatever, German, yeah, crew trainer tier 8 for lights, scouts, I'd probably go with that first over this because it's a better overall tank. But if you're looking for something else in addition to that with a slightly different playstyle, maybe a playstyle similar to the Lycan, I'd probably pick this tank up. Like I said, it's what reminds me of is a Lycan, as my screen has a seizure of a single shot Lycan, but at tier 8. So hopefully that helps, and I will catch you next time. See ya.
Ennemi détecté. L'ennemi nous observe.